Some donors give because they support the policies and the platform of political parties. Some donors give, to put it quite bluntly, to secure access and possible influence over the political process.
Each year, Australians get a snapshot of the millions of dollars flowing into the coffers of Australia's political parties.
The Australian Electoral Commission released today the annual returns of political parties. And essentially, these are documents that provide financial information regarding the political parties.
This year, the Labor Party received a total of $50 million in donations, with the Liberal Party not far behind at $46 million. The Greens received $19 million in donations, and the Nationals received $12 million.
Donations about influence. What is important in terms of the legitimacy of the donations are the conditions in which they're given and the amount of the donations.
Clive Palmer's company, Mineralogy, made the largest individual donation of $5.8 million to his own United Australia Party. Pratt Holdings, which is linked to the Visy recycling empire, made individual donations of $1 million to the Liberal Party and $250,000 to the National Party. There were just over 900 separate donations recorded by individuals and organisations. They include Nine Entertainment, which declared $90,000 in donations, with $62,000 going to the Liberal Party, and James Packer's Crown Resorts, which declared $100,000 in donations to the Liberal Party and $79,000 to the Labor Party. Almost half of all donations came from just 5 donors, including Woodside Energy, Macquarie Group, and the Australian Hotels Association.
In terms of donations going to the various political parties, we have basically a handful of donors, in fact just 5 donors, accounting for nearly half of the donations going to political parties.
It doesn't just show the money being raised, but also the spending on campaigns by politically aligned organisations trying to sway voters. The latest disclosures show the ACTU was the biggest spender at just over $1.5 million, closely followed by conservative activist group Advance Australia, which spent $1.5 million.
Advance Australia is in fact the second top spender in terms of the last returns, and in fact spending more than 10 times of what is said to be its counterpart, the left-wing organisation GetUp.
But these figures don't show the full picture. Federal donation laws only require donations above $14,300 to be publicly reported. An analysis by the Centre for Public Integrity released today estimated that 35% of all donations since 1999, totalling $1 billion, has been hidden from public scrutiny.
I think it impacts democracy at a very foundational level in terms of the trust that the citizenry has in the political system.
Professor Joo Chung Tam has spent years researching electoral donation laws here and overseas. He argues Australia's states have tougher disclosure laws than the federal government.
In this federal system, where you have lackadaisical regulation through weak disclosures obligations, essentially has provided this formula for big money to dominate the funding of political parties.
Amid a major decline in trust of politics, Professor Tam is hopeful Australia's political parties will make the donation system more transparent.
Politicians across the spectrum also recognise that trust in government is essential generally, but particularly so in a pandemic. And I'm cautiously hopeful that this will actually spur some important reforms that show up the integrity of Australian democracy.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.